Today we're going to be making one of my favorites I haven't had in 5 years since I left Orange County. It's a Vietnamese pho soup. On a really cold day or now heading into spring, it sounds like the perfect thing. And now it's a way to make it keto. Join me and we'll do it together. Alright guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to go through the list today on how to build our keto-friendly Vietnamese pho. Let's start with, you're going to need 1 whole brown onion cut in half, 1 side shredded very thinly for actually your soup garnish, 2 cloves of fresh garlic, and 1-inch cut size of fresh ginger. You're going to also need some fish sauce. I got this one for very cheap at an Asian market. 2, you're going to need your pho seasonings. I recommend going online to Amazon or going to an Asian market, and these are only about $2 and it has all your spices mixed into one. Also, you're going to need some sriracha. Who doesn't love a nice little sriracha kick to their bowl of pho? The noodles we're going to be using today, you guys guessed it, Miracle Noodle. Plant-based, keto-friendly, and if cooked and prepared correctly, it is a great substitute. Let's go over the meats today. Today I got about 15 ounces of top sirloin steaks I got from Costco. I took 2 of those steaks and I cut it very, very, very thin so that when you pour the broth on it, it actually cooks the meat. Then I took the rest of the trimmings and the last small steak and cut it up in pieces to put inside when I cook my pho. Let's talk about garnish. Typical garnish is I have some mung bean or bean sprout. You could actually not use the Miracle Noodle and just use those instead. We got some cilantro, which adds incredible flavor. We got lime, 1 cut up lime in thin little slices. We have some green onion, which is great. And we have your Thai basil. And then we have cut up jalapenos that add another nice flavor. These are your entire ingredients that we're going to be using today. Let's go and put them together. And lastly, but not least, the most important thing is your organic bone broth. You want to make sure you use the highest fat bone broth possible. Here for the fast version, I grabbed a Sprouts brand. It's really good and it is organic. A lot of people like grass-fed, and that's okay. But for convenience and speed, we have enough fats already into our meats. You can also do your own bone broth, which I do have a video in the link below. This is probably the best option, but a little more time consuming. Remember, this is a 35 or minute less pho. All right, guys, when you're cutting your steaks, you want to try to cut it as thin as possible. If you have a meat cutting device or a mandolin, it works much better. But also don't forget to make sure that your steak is still partially frozen. This is going to help you cut the thinnest slices possible. Remember, after you're done trimming up your steak as thinly as possible, save any trimmings because remember, this is a keto-friendly soup and the more fats, the better. There it is. All of my thinly sliced steak as thin as you can possibly get it, still a little bit frozen. Remember, you're going to want to keep it very cold up until the time that you're going to put it and build your soup. So here is my steak that I'm going to actually add into the actual soup when it's cooking. I got a big pack of top sirloin steaks at Costco. You can use whatever favorite type of beef you like. If you're keto, higher the fat, the better. How to prepare your Miracle Noodle. First thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your bag, you're going to open it and pour it into a strainer with some cold running water. As your Miracle Noodle is in the strainer, you're going to mix it around. Now I'm going to make sure I get all the water content that I can out of the Miracle Noodle. The next step, I'm going to take it out of the strainer and I'm going to dump it just on a couple thick paper towels. Now I'm going to just mix the noodles around, trying to absorb as much water as I can. Remember, now that your noodles are patted dry, we're going to put them in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes per serving. Remember, 1 packet of Miracle Noodles makes 1 bowl of pho for 1 person. And now, how to prepare your pho spices. Remember, if you buy the bag, it's easier to buy it with them all together instead of trying to buy them all individually. And it's much more cost effective and the flavor is so much more. All right, when you take it out of the package, it's going to be in this bag. Save that bag. For now, we're going to dump all the spices over a medium heat and we're going to roast for a little bit to bring out all the oils of the spices. Now I'm going to dump my pho spices in the pan, save that bag, and I'm just going to lightly toast. We have some cinnamon stick, we have star anise, we have clove and cinnamon and licorice root. So you're just going to lightly let that toast until it starts to kind of give a nice fragrant aroma and you don't want to overdo it. All right, I put the roasted, lightly toasted seasonings back in the bag and tied it really tight, and now we're good to go. All right, guys, now the time has come to finally assemble our pho. First thing you're gonna do is take that spice bag that you lightly toasted, go ahead and put it in there. Second thing is you're gonna take 1/2 of a yellow onion. Next step is, before you drop your onions in, make sure that you give them a good char on the stovetop. This adds an authentic taste to our pho. Now drop the charred onions in on one on each side of the spice bag. All right, guys, next thing we're gonna add is 1 inch of ginger cut in quarters. Just go ahead and throw that in there, no big deal. And then 1 whole garlic bulb, small garlic bulb, cut in halves. So we're gonna grab that, we're gonna throw that in there, all that nice, good garlicky goodness. All right, guys, we're gonna follow up with some fish sauce. You're gonna add 2.5 tablespoons of fish sauce. It doesn't really matter what brand. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna just do 1 little more half there. And then we're gonna go ahead and add those pieces of the top sirloin there, about 5 to 6 ounces. We're gonna go ahead and add that inside, and the trimmings. Now you're gonna take 64 ounces of your best bone broth you can get. This is an organic Sprouts one that I got that was only available. If you can get grass-fed, that's even more of a plus. Go ahead and pour that directly into your pot. Now it's time to put the lid on and set our Instapot. Now we're gonna set our Instapot to pressure cook for approximately 40 minutes on the high pressure mode. This totally smells amazing. It reminds me of my days back in Orange County, California, when I walked into a Vietnamese pho place. All right, guys, so now it's time to finally put our pho together. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take those really thin beef pieces, and you're gonna put those kind of in your bowl here. Depending on how much meat you like, and depending on how big of a bowl of pho you want, you're gonna go ahead and put those in there. And then I'm just gonna layer it really nice and thin on the bottom here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, we got our beef set in there, and a lot of people worry about it being raw. Don't worry, guys. The heat from the boiling hot pho broth is going to cook that very quickly. Next thing you're gonna do is grab your really finely shaved onions there. If you have good knife skills, you can put some on top there, just like that. Next thing, you're gonna grab a good pinch of cilantro. This is one of my favorite seasonings in this pho. Next thing I wanna do is just add a few jalapenos on the side, and that just adds a little bit more flavor. And then we're gonna take some bean sprout here, and I put some bean sprout on the side. Then we're gonna top it off with finely chopped green onion. And then the meat that we cooked inside the pho broth, we're just gonna drop a couple pieces in on the side. All right, the last thing you're gonna do is take that nice pho broth, and you're gonna take it, I've already strained it just once. If you really want a fine broth, you can use a cheesecloth. I'm gonna dump that hot pho broth right on top of that soup, and just until it comes over to the top of the soup. Then I'm gonna finish off with just a little bit of sriracha. All right, first time trying these konjac noodles too with this. We'll see how it tastes. All right, guys, don't forget your Thai basil on the side, and then a nice fresh lime here. We're gonna squeeze it in there, and then I got my broth spoon, and I do not have chopsticks, but I'm gonna use my fork right now and tell you exactly what I think of this. This is just as good as the pho back home. All right, guys, so if you really like this video and all the recipes that we have to offer, please like and subscribe and share to your friends. We really appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you soon.